Okay, good evening. Today we are going to head down to a state which is pretty far from me. It's in the South, all right? We're talking about the one and only state of Mississippi. So today we are going into Mississippi State and we are going to go into this university and figure out what it's about, how we can get in, and what's needed, all right? Now remember I told you about the South. I like the South. The people are hospitable, the food is good, all right? The weather is pretty good. And like I said, you have that family feeling when you go down there. Like I said, I can't reiterate it more. The people in the South are special people in America. All right. Mississippi is in the South. All right. The deep South, as we call it. All right. So it's not as, and they do have some cities there, but it's not like you're up north, like in New York and Boston, whatever. So you find out people kind of take their time there and they go kind of slow with things. But we'll jump in and go over some of the universities that are there. But today we're going to start with Mississippi State. So buckle up. We're going to jump on the iPad and we're going to jump into this. Okay, so now we're in the iPad. We're going to go and take a look at Mississippi State University. We have a lot of information here, which we think will help you out a bit. All right. So first, as I usually do, I go directly to U.S. News because I think that's probably one of the most comprehensive sites that has information for schools. It's not always accurate, but for the most part, it's close enough for me. So let's look at Mississippi State University. Student life. This is a large school, all right? It's a state university. Remember, when you see state, it's a state college, it's a state university, and many of the state's residents go there. So let's look. 23,086 students. That's as of fall 2021. So that might have went up and down, depends what it is. 23,000 plus students. Now that is considered a large school, all right? A very large school. So which means that in Mississippi, that school takes up probably the majority of the whole city, all right? So let's look here. NCAA Division One, 32% of students live on campus. All right. Let's take a little look at the rankings here. 194 in national universities, 100 in top public schools, 208 in best value schools, and 104 in best undergraduate engineering programs. All right. So, and you could use that information how you would like. Let's take a look at the cost. All right. As usual, we know in-state tuition is lower than out of state, so it's usually about double. So we're looking for in-state tuition. We're looking at about $25,444, $444. In terms of housing expenses, room and board, they have several options on their website that we'll look at in a few. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, about 17 residential halls. And then I guess there's also off-campus housing as well. So you do have some choices there. And the prices of those vary. All right. So we already talked about the amount of students that live on campus. We're going to go into the campus size. So it's on a large plot of land, 4,200 acres. That is a lot of land. All right. About the size of a small city. 88% of students have cars on campus. All right. And that's pretty much what we have here. Let me see here. Now, do they accept the Common App? Usually I check before I log on, but right now we will see if they do. All right. Now remember, the Common App is going to make it much simpler for you to apply to colleges. You could do it all in one shot instead of trying to um, do it here. For some reason, it's not popping up. Let's see here, Mississippi. let me see if it's on the Common App. I'll check on the other site. But anyway, I think it actually might be on the Common App, if I'm not mistaken, but I just wanted to make sure. My Common App app doesn't seem to be working. All right. So, Mississippi State University is on the Common App. It is on the Common App. All right. That's good. All right. So you can go on the Common App and apply. And as usual, I always say that you always want to try to see if they can get you some, to get you a discount on, or even get the application fee waived. You might get vouchers depending on where you're at. Now, the good thing is that, the Common App also just gives information on a lot of things, like even like scholarships and things and other things, which is pertinent to students coming in. So explore that Common App and see what information you can get, because you might get some info on the Common App that you might not find on the regular apps. All right. Now, let's go to the website. And you know me, I always go directly to the international student site. For Mississippi State, you can schedule a virtual tour, all right, before you even set foot, because you might look at a virtual tour and figure out, I'm not trying to go here. It's 24,000 kids. It's nuts out there, all right? It talks about international admissions requirements, and we'll scroll through that a little bit, but not too much in depth. Right, so of course, naturally, you're gonna need certified, translated copies of all your papers. Not your uncle who studied in England. We need certified copies. In whatever country you're in, they have people that do certified translations of your documents. Get all the documents translated as soon as possible. This is another tip. And everything. Don't think that just because they didn't ask something to be translated, they don't. No, to be cautious, just get them all translated. Official ACT score of 20 or higher, or SAT score of 1030. All right. Only if your GPA is below 3.0 based on evaluation of your transcripts, or you're applying for scholarships. So now, those scores are contingent upon you applying for scholarships, or if your GPA is below 3.0. So if you have below a 3.0, they want to see some SAT scores. All right. And you notice some schools will say that. They'll say test optional, but it also means depending on what your GPA is. All right. The International Institute will tell you about additional resources. They do want to make sure that you are proficient in English. So if you went to an English medium school, we already know the routine. They do have higher English courses here as well that you can get into. They talk about TOEFL IELTS requirements on the site, and you can go through, look at that at your leisure. Set here for transfer students, and let me see if we can look at the International Institute. All right, so they have their own little International Institute, as you can see. It's very nice. This is the big state schools. They have big money. And it pretty much tells you everything that's happened. They have news on here, preparing for plans to come here, information sessions, different grants, passport acceptance facility. So this is actually great, because you could go in here and find out all the information you need. International Services Office, that's what it's called. All right. So we mentioned the costs, we mentioned the size, we mentioned the competitiveness. Campus life, like we said, they have over 15 dorms in there, and the prices vary. I think that, like I always say, you definitely have to do your due diligence here, because, like I said, Mississippi State University is a great university. However, it is kind of large, and Mississippi is in the South. It's in the deep South. All right. Now, one thing you have to understand about the South, generally in the states, the southern states may not be as diverse as the states up north. So some places you may go to and you might not see a big intercultural vibe. However, Mississippi State University has international students and students from everywhere around the world. So you won't feel like you're not at home. Alrighty. I'll leave it up to you to go through the rest of the site and look at some things and let me know what you think about it. All right. What you think about Mississippi State. Just gave a general rundown here. Like I said, I'm trying to come in here and tell you guys about the low-hanging fruit, i.e. the colleges that people seem to look over and look at some of the programs that they have. Real quick, let's look at some of the programs they have, their majors. All right. So prospective students, they actually do have a veterinary program. Just to let you know this, there are very few schools in America that have veterinary science programs. It's probably easier for you to get into medical school than it is vet school. Why? I don't know, but take that into consideration when you're looking at studying veterinary skills, all right? Because a lot of schools do not have a veterinary school. Like I know Penn has one, Cornell has one, Mississippi State has one, all right? But just to let you know that. All right. And here's what I always try to do is that, the international committee always wants to make sure you feel welcome. So please ask them any questions that you think may help you. All right. Real quick, we're going to tap here on degrees and programs. And we see there's a lot of them here, from engineering and math, business, economics, health, wellness, and the medical, agriculture, nature and environment, all these departments and countless majors in between them. So I think that once you hit it, now you can go down and you can look at some of the choices you have. Like and this is actually this is in alphabetical order. Have accounting, agribusiness, data science, food science. It just goes down and down. Just keep pressing down. All right. I'm sure you can find a major you want. Make sure you see if they have them. And here's another thing you could do. Try to contact people in that department. All right. Maybe try to contact an advisor in the major department. Let's say you're thinking about studying geophysics, for example. That's even a discipline. All right. Well, contact the geophysics professor or the geophysics team. They have probably their own building, and get some questions that they could ask that maybe no one else can ask. All right. So that's Mississippi State University. If you're trying to get out of town and get to the South, good people, good food, great weather, head on down to Mississippi. All right. We will see you guys later.